This is the House of Parliament where men and women have sat for decades, making decisions that would affect all our lives. Do they really work in the interests of the people or themselves? They sit at the round tables, trying to decipher which way to turn. Is it left or is it right? Have the people benefited from those decisions? Our people have suffered for far too long. Change should not be a figment of the imagination, but reality. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman are equally important. The market vendor joyfully sells her produce. The fish vendor skillfully uses his cutlass to cut the fish. Keep on working. Let your smile be your motivation. Build a community of brotherly and sisterly love. Don't give up on your dreams. Surround yourself with positive thinkers. Think big and keep on moving. Keep pushing the envelope. Yes, push that envelope until you have succeeded. You may have made many mistakes, but that is no reason to stop. Don't you dare give up. Get ready for that overflow. Get ready for that breakthrough. The overflow is coming. Showers of blessings. Stay cool. Stay calm. Stay collective. Ride the rough waves of life. Hold on to that rope tightly. Just keep working. Keep moving. Keep believing. Self-motivation. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lies and Deceit. I am your host, Soraya Alexander, better known as Soso. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. I am a bit bruised and in a bit of, sore and pain because of my unfortunate incident yesterday where I planted some plantains. Philip J. Pierre asked us to plant fig, but I planted instead. What happened? I was going down my steps from my car park to my laundry room, and I don't know, something happened. I slipped, I tumbled, I fell. I have the best supporters in St. Lucia. I love y'all so much. People called me, they prayed for me, all your nice recipes, how to get better, thank you. I had some chichima, a few, you can't drink too much of it because of, it could thin the blood. So I had some chichima and then, took some Panadols, and I was told that I need to get a good rub. I've been hearing about some Pearl AMAB. I may have to check it out to rub so. But I'm still sore, so let's hope I can sit on this chair tonight for a while because, my lower back is kind of hurting a little. But I love all of you. I read your comments, what you were saying. And I'm telling you, the greatest gift to me is when somebody calls me and they encourage me and they pray for me. Thank you so much. I don't even know this person. The person I'm gonna meet you one of these days. Thank you. You people are so wonderful. And to my people in TV land, I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. Every Wednesday, you get Soso on GVD TV, Floor 115. Your girl Soso is here. I'm real. And you gotta love me. Hey! Let me shout some of y'all tonight. Love y'all. I just love y'all. Y'all just give me, and I have this supporter. Influential, badass supporter, male, said, send me a WhatsApp. Is that your account number? So I'm like, okay. From the time he asked me that, I know his blessings overflowing with coffee. And that's exactly what he did. Love you. Thank you. I love you all. Y'all make me happy, telling me you're appreciating me, and I love it. Hey, let's go. Estefan, hi, how are you? Marguerite, Veronica, Agatha, Nessa? Yes, Nessa, superwoman. I have a little pain in my waist, but I good. Miriam, oh, I looking sharp, thank you. Andy, how are you? Clarence, Anisha, where are you? Melly, Stanio, where are you? Roslyn, you always tell me you love me, and I love you more. Ava, how you doing, darling? Beverly, how are y'all? Thank you, Melly. I try not to sing it, even if I'm in my pain. You know, I try and look the part tonight. Hey, Michelle, how you do? Sylvia, how are you, baby? Sean, Makati, how are y'all? Emma, and Akim says he love y'all. Kyle says he love y'all too. My two boys. Kyle is more on the quiet side. Akim is the producer. Love y'all like crazy. All the people. Hi, Glenda. Hi, I'm Renee. Hi, all my sweet people. Hi, Shane. My favorite, one of my favorite talk shows is Shane Ring the Bell. I love how he speaks the French. The Creole, not French. Hi, Henny. Samuel, let me tell y'all, tonight, we're going hard. There is so many things that has happened in this country, and it is pure madness. But let's pray that I feel strong tomorrow, because when I have my guests, I like to give my guest, Mrs. Sarah Flood-Beaubrun. I would like to give her all the time she needs. So, if I feel up to it tomorrow, I come in and drop smoke on this government. You know, smoke. I drop in smoke on them tomorrow. So stay tuned to see if I'm going to come on and you come on and meet me, my people. And thank you, Mary. Thank you for your well wishes. Mary, my day was not too bad. And to all my senior citizens, I know you'll love it. Some people will tell me I'm not watching you on Facebook again. I go in and watch you on GVT TV. Thank you so much for watching me. All my senior citizens, I love you all. Now let us put this picture up. Let us just laugh for a bit. Let's just laugh. Hey, boy, people, you see me these days? I am not taking my car and fill my tank with gas. I can't afford it. I'm a mile away. If it was Shasney that put $1 and something on the gas, all now so say no shall burn down. But where y'all? Y'all mouth shut like fall backside. Y'all say nada. People, gas too expensive. Back to donkey cap for so. To transport my fig. How is meal? Hello, people. Not me. And I'm serious about it. I am a realist. I am not fake. I don't come here and put on. And I have been taking the bus. All right? And if I have too many things to carry, I may take a taxi, or one of my friends will say, okay, let me drop you home so. But I cannot afford gas. $14, I can't even afford backs. Right? I can't even afford green fig to make a nice back stew with green fig. Why are you getting that money? Why are you getting it? Hey, people fall on his head. No, but tonight, my people, we have to check for ourselves. Cipriana is laughing. Cipriana is dying. Cipriana, do not die, Cipriana. But serious, thank you, Jama. I'll stay safe, Dudu. And imagine when Uncle Shas was there. Uncle Shas, I was asking for the nice big boxes they had. I was asking Uncle Shas for one little Malewe you're not getting. And I was very happy. I was very, very happy that the people who needed it was getting those big bags and boxes with food. But right now we have people suffering. And let me tell you all something, people. Follow me tomorrow. I'll let you know if I'm coming on, if the body feels a little better, because I don't know how I'll feel sitting for so long. So my people, let me tell you something. Victimization has started. Guacod. Are they playing with the Wi-Fi? Okay. Victimization has started. Guacod. I do not understand. Before I bring my guest on, my lovely, illustrious guest, Mrs. Beaubrun, before I bring her on, I want to know. Let me tell you all something in St. Lucia. You're about to cry. But when you cry, the tears will not come down. And let me tell you why the tears would not come down. Because there'll be no tears. There'll be nothing. You will be sick. You know, like when you pick a coconut, it has no water in it. It's just dry. The tears are about to flow in this country. It is wicked that somebody has a job. And this is why I say, if I was prime minister of a country, I am not going to fire people to put my supporters in position. If you're in position already and you're performing, it's fine. I will create work, not only for my supporters, but for other people. I want to know if our Creole announcer, from the time I growing up, I know that Mr. like a staple in my homie. Primus, Lisa, Hermina. I want to know if these people were sent back in. Question, Makamade, question. Everything, this country is a mess. When you just send people at their homes, what do you expect them to do? This is a mad government. Now, people, let me introduce you to my wonderful guest, Mrs. Sarah Flood-Beaubrun. Welcome, Mrs. Beaubrun.
Thank you very much, Soso, and pleasant good evening to everybody out there in Soso land. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure having you, and feel relaxed, feel comfortable, because my show is a different show. I'm not here to make you look bad, but I'm here for the people of St. Lucia to know who is the real Sarah. I know Sarah from school, right? You were in higher forms than I was, but I knew you from school. So, Mrs. Beaubrun, Sarah, tell my audience a little about you. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Before we get into the meat of the things, you know what we have to discuss.
Well, so first of all, I want to thank you for such a great job that you're doing, for your courage in doing it.
Thank you.
Needs someone like you to do what you're doing at this time.
Thank you.
So I want to say hats off to you, and I want to remind you it's your show. So I mean, I'm just there to enjoy the show as much as to be on it. So
exactly.
I don't want my presence to change how Soso
does
no.
Because
Soso does her thing in her style.
Yes.
So, but I've been around for a long time, so I think the people of St. Lucia will tell me who I am, you know. Except to say that, I mean, I entered politics when I was 26 years old. And that was a long time, and so much has changed. When I entered, we didn't have the cell phone, we didn't have the emails, we didn't have all the technology that we have now. So things have changed a lot. And I guess I'm one of the dinosaurs who's not really into social media. But I'm getting there, because when you have children, they make you do it in any event. So
exactly.
Yes. So just to say what a pleasure it is to be here, and I've watched a few of your shows and I quite enjoy them myself.
Thank you.
We need people like you to do what you're doing. So I wanted to be here to encourage you. I wanted to be here to show my support for you, and also to be available to your guests and to share whatever you would like to share.
Okay, well, let's get down to the meat of the matter. Recently in the House, and I heard you called on Timothy Polio's show, and I think it's last week or 2 weeks ago, the domestic violence bill was passed. I would like your feedback, because I heard you made some comments that you had some reservations some of the things slated in the bill. Can you just expound on it, because we know you are a legal mind and you have been a member of parliament, you have been the representative for Castries Central. So just share with my people, because a lot of people may have difficulties in understanding certain things within that bill. So can you just share a little light concerning this?
Well, first of all, what I would like to say is that, it's important for us to have legislation. And certainly, I support the fact that we have the legislation. It is absolutely very important. But the easiest thing to pass is a law. I mean, I know it takes time to do it properly, and I am not downplaying the work of the ages chambers or the people who work on the legislation. It's very hard work. I commend them for it, but that's the easy part. Passing the law is the easiest. The question is, how will the law really protect you? And that's the question we have to ask. I remember when we first established the shelter, I was then the Minister for Gender Relations, Home Affairs and Gender Relations. That was about 2003 when we opened the shelter. And I've said on quite a number of shows one of the things that motivated me to run for elections was the whole question of domestic violence. I was in chambers at the time when I first ran, and I remember using the domestic violence summary proceedings act 1999. This is the law that has now been repealed by this new legislation. And I remember sitting in my chambers, it was on Bridge Street at the time, and a lady came to me and she said, last night she must have said her husband or boyfriend fighting. In any event, her living partner was threatening to beat her, so she had to leave the house. She came to me seeking protection under the act, and of course, we could file an ex parte order, meaning take them out of court without the perpetrator knowing to get an occupation as a protector. So the first thing I asked is, okay, if we do this today, where will you sleep tonight? Because sometimes you can bring them out of the court and the perpetrator doesn't get served until a day or two after. We know what the system is like.
Right.
So immediately my thought for her was, yes, we could bring this to court today, but just supposing the perpetrator does not get served this evening, what will you do? And really, she would have been in more trouble if I went ahead with it, because just imagine there's a law to protect women. The perpetrator knows he's already threatened to beat you or beating you. Then he hears you've gone to court to get it put out of the house. You're in more trouble.
That's right.
So I said to her, well, where are you going to sleep tonight? She says, well, I slept on the square last night, so I'll sleep on the square tonight. Because at that time we had no shelter. And that was what really motivated me to get us to establish it. I'm making that point to say that unless we have the support services to go with the law, when women try to use the law to empower themselves, it places them in more trouble because you have an angry perpetrator. So it is really important to ensure that the support services are there. Now, during our time in office, well, first of all, we established the shelter. At that time, I was, of course, with the Labour Party government, but the shelter went awry. It was closed down for a number of years.
Yes, it was.
And now it's in a deplorable
state. Yes.
Deplorable state. So it is about not just saying we've passed the law. If you do not put the safety measures in place, you are placing women in more danger. So one of the problems I do have with governments and politicians and officials is that you ask them, what have you done? They say, oh, we've spent so much money. What have you done? Oh, we passed the law. This is just the framework.
Exactly, the framework. Exactly.
Right. I mean, it's like you build a preschool and you don't have a good teacher. You build a preschool and you don't have all of the equipment for children and the tools to work. So it's really important for that, and we know that. And I'm not just here to bash SLP or anything. I'm not here to do that.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, yes, we have the law, but don't stop it, because it was under our previous government that the number of social service workers were increased for years. Absolutely. For years. So do not tell me that a woman can just go. First of all, she has to be able to. Here's the thing. Okay, how am I going to feed myself tomorrow? All these things come in a woman's mind before she is going to take this man, call the police on this man who is her breadwinner. All these things come into her mind. So we have to think of all the support services and everything that goes with it to really, really protect women. Now, when I called Tim's show, the concern I had, I did not necessarily speak about the substantive law, which I don't have a problem with per se. I want to see this enacted. I want to see this really protect women. I would like to see all of the other things that encourage violence in our society addressed. Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about zero tolerance, we should aim to prevent the violence in the first place. How are we addressing all the issues that cause the violence? And I'm not advocating for us to have more shelters either. The one shelter we have is probably enough if we run it well. And what I found when I was minister responsible for gender relations, women didn't want to stay at the shelter. Women don't want to leave their homes. Even when we have the shelter.
Sarah, just hold a little there. Some of my audience is saying you sound a little muffled, so I don't know if you can just speak a little louder or
speak a little louder. My voice is naturally loud.
Or increase the volume. She's fine.
Let me see if I'm good enough to do that.
Okay.
Increase the volume. I hope I don't cut something.
Okay, all right, just leave it. Don't cut anything.
Expose myself.
don't cut anything. Let's just continue.
I'm not sure exactly what a dinosaur I am in terms of, but I do hope it's not too distract.
Okay, well, I'm hearing you because when I started, I was trying really. I had to ask my producer to bring up the mic, and then I started to hear you a little better. Yes. So you could continue.
Right. So
yes, you better that way. I believe what you have to do. Bring your chair forward. Right. Okay. Awesome. Yes.
So we were thinking, this shelter is going to become full very quickly, but it wasn't, because the women didn't want to come to the shelter. They want to stay home. They want to be safe in their own homes. They want to be safe at home. I mean, a woman wants to be at her home, whether or not it's whatever it is, it's her home, and she wants to stay there. So we can't speak tonight about everything, but support services.
Now, let me just cut you short there. It is amazing in my mind, right? To me, the first thing the policy makers have to consider, yes, we are going to pass this bill concerning domestic violence. However, do we have the necessary personnel, the necessary structures in place to help women? Because as you rightfully said, many women would stay in a situation without reporting it, because if they do report it to the authorities, they still have to go back home to that abusive partner. So sometimes they take the abuse and have nowhere to go. So you are absolutely correct in saying that we must have the support services. And this is what is lacking. You could pass all the bills you want without the support services. Women and men would still be in trouble.
And the point I want to make, which is a broader point that touches on the general approach of the SLP, I have to say it, and I served with them, so I know what I'm talking about. And I don't think it has changed. Based on what I'm seeing now, it's the same old thing. You need to be really serious and care about women for you to do the right. It doesn't make sense if you have to do 100 things, don't do 90. Because where you leave the gap is where everything is. So if people in office really care about women, they will sit down and figure out what are all the things we need to do, and let's make sure we do them. We have had for too long situations where governments just want to do enough to stay in office. Let's just do this so we can say we've done this. But does it really work? Am I really addressing the root cause of the problem? Don't really care about it. Let's just say we've done this and tick it off. Look, we've given you all the domestic violence. We've given it to you. Now, next one. It's not how it works.
Exactly, because this is how I feel. Not cutting you short, this is how I feel. It's like, you all wanted it, look it. Look it with what? Look it with what?
Next part, right. And let's move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
We have done this, we've ticked it, and let's move on. Well, I guess we have time to see. The important thing is that the women of signature must be mad.
Exactly.
must continue to request. And I want to say, and it was the case with the domestic violence summary proceedings, that it doesn't just protect women, it protects all victims. And I think that is something that perhaps was lost in the presentation. The Minister for Gender Relations was seeming to suggest that the previous law did not, like this law, will protect women more than the previous law protected women, and anybody who was a victim of violence was protected, and that is important. But the point I called Timothy to make, I noted that in the certain terms were used in the bill which were not defined in the interpretation. And I think that's important. I mean, I'm not suggesting that we go into this substantive discussion now, but the word sexual orientation and gender identity was used in the body of the legislation, and it was not defined in the interpretation section. That is a problem, because you may find yourself providing cover and protection to people whom you do not intend to cover. If you look at the definition of sexual orientation and gender identity, you can see that there are over 200 sexual orientations. If you look it up, you'll find that there are over 50 gender identities. There are some groups that are claiming that pedophilia is a sexual orientation. So you might find yourself protecting a pedophile. You might find yourself saying that a pedophile can get covered for protection under the legislation, and that is not what you intend to do.
Wow.
So
let me butt in here. So therefore, based on what you are saying as a legal mind, what you are saying is that they should look at that bill carefully, revisit that bill.
They should define the terms they use in the legislation. And they've done this purposely. This is not an oversight. This is not an oversight. This is a controversial term they've inserted there, and they have purposely not defined.
So you're saying they purposely input this in there?
I think so. I know the Labour Party. I know how they operate. I know this is not an oversight. And it was purposely not, because I did bring it up prior to it going to the Senate, or I don't know if it has gone through the Senate, but I did bring it up. I don't know if it will be addressed, but this is not the first time the Labour Party is doing this. The Labour Party has inserted this very term in another piece of legislation during their last term of office, and they similarly did not do it. They know exactly what they're doing. This is their modus operandi.
But this is crazy. How can you put that? So basically, that piece of legislation is floating. It's not concrete. It's floating.
It is, and it is very strange, because it's the standard practice in legal drafting, where you're using new terms, even when terms are not new. I mean, you put the word child in there, you define what a child is. You put the term, far less new terms that you brought into the legislation. There's always a part in the legislation where it's the interpretation section at the very front of the bill, where it says all the terms that are used, this is what they mean. Why haven't they defined these?
Now I have a difficulty with that bill, because on our books in St. Lucia, we do not condone, or not we, the law does not recognize same-sex marriages. There is nothing on the books speaking about transgender men or women. So are we causing a serious bacchanal in terms of when someone has to go to court their sexuality, that it's gonna
but it's more than that. So it is more than that.
It's crazy.
If it was homosexuality and transgender, we know that. Fine, great. We know. So we can say whether we want it or not. But when it's not defined, and it can be 200 different things, that's where the problem is. If it's defined and we know it's 5 things, we know it's 5. If it's defined and we know it's 50, then it's 50. But if it can be 200 or 250, then we need to know which 250. If it's not 250 genders and it's 5, we need to know which one. You get the point. Because it's not defined, we don't know where it starts and where it stops. So that's the problem. The problem is it's as wide as you want to make it, and you don't know how wide it is. So
But
if it is the case that there are 5 genders that the government wants to recognize, define the 5. If it's 50, define the 50. But don't leave it open for anything at all. And that's what they've done.
From my layman's point of view, that's sloppy work. That's sloppy work to pass a bill like that.
Well, it's not sloppy. It's calculated. It's not sloppy.
No. But Sarah, calculated for who? For them. When you're in government and you pass in legislations and bill, it is to protect the people of St. Lucia. So right now,
so it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money.
I get where you're going from. Yeah, it's all about money. So to go back and do it. Oh my God.
No, it's all about money. It's about what am I going to do to get money that's out there? And my concern is that this government said they would want to get into power by any means necessary. Now, if a government wants to get in power by any means necessary, they will do anything to stay in power.
Exactly.
Because you can't want to get into power by any means necessary and allow yourself to get out.
Exactly.
You will stay by any means necessary. But the sad thing is, for me, and sometimes, people say, but Sarah, you've been quiet, we have heard you, it's important for all of us to be thinkers. Not everybody can be on a talk show, not everybody can host a show like so. Mm-hmm. But all of us need to be aware and read. And even if it's to write our MP letter, even if it's to do what we can do. The unfortunate thing too, is that, people are struggling so much.
Yes, they are.
There are so many day-to-day challenges that people are faced. People are thinking about bread and butter issues. If you come out and speak out against the government, you're likely to be victimized.
Exactly.
People have to think, if I come out and say that, how are they going to try to victimize me about my family? So, there's so many reasons why people are scared to speak out. But if we don't, it's just going to get worse and worse. And at the end of the day, I know you're a believer, you're a Christian lady, and I've heard you speak sometimes. At the end of the day, God is watching our backs.
Yeah.
And if we deny him in front of men, he will deny
us.
He just
exactly.
Deny him from his Father.
Exactly.
We have to stand up. So I called Timothy's show to make that point, to make it and leave it there, because at least I said what I had to say about it. I cleared my own conscience to say, look here, there's a problem here. If it falls on deaf ears, well.
But I am so.
I need to say, I've done my part.
Exactly, and I'm so happy you did that, and you are clarifying that on my show. But I don't understand, Sarah. What I don't understand is the hypocrisy. You are not the only legal mind in St. Lucia. All of a sudden, all the legal minds, the Bar Association, everybody has gone quiet. So the ordinary layman, Malawi man, who is going to look out for them?
So what I've found in my years on earth, and I all throughout my time in government, being in politics, I've learned so much. And one of the things I've realized is sometimes the people you most depend on, you can't speak up. And I've also found that you will find support in the unlikely circumstances. So it's not who has the big title who's going to speak. It's not who is comfortable and has nothing to lose who's going to speak. It's the person who has the big title. The person who has a conviction and the person who is not looking for uh, worldly support, or he's not looking for the applause of man. People who are going to speak about those who have conviction and they believe in it, and even if they were the last person on earth speaking about it, it's
Now, the thing I
so.
find about this, Sarah, is that you have always, I know that you're very strong in your faith, and you have always stood behind what you believe. Sarah, I have a very serious difficulty in women in St. Lucia who appear to be representing women, but yet they bully other women. How can women with issues feel comfortable going to women who bully other women, and they're supposed to be that blanket to protect women in situations? I, for one, I am not into how will I say, those advocacy for women, and I'm here and I'm there. But the number of people who reach out to me on a daily basis, it's unbelievable. I thought in St. Lucia that we had women who profess to raise their voice to help the women of St. Lucia, and women are crying out. To me, if you are responsible for taking care of the women of St. Lucia, you shouldn't be yellow and you shouldn't be red.
you you should take care of needs. This is really important. Just taking care of the needs that people have. Mind you, so there are just so many needs. I mean, there are needs like we need every woman to put her shoulder to leave to work to take care of needs. Even some of us who have our own needs need to forget our needs and take care of our sister who has great needs. This is what it is. Everybody has a need.
Exactly, exactly.
And we can't wait until our life is perfect, because it will never be. We can't wait to give from our excess. We have to give from the little we
From the
have.
little we have, exactly. And let me add to
Yes,
what you're
yes.
saying there. Um, I had like maybe 10 people coming into my inbox looking for help. So I am doing it one at a time. And there is this mother I am helping, and I have sourced a new bed and for her children, so her children could sleep. I have some of my supporters who send donations for us to help them. So I'm going to give them, donate a bed on behalf of my Lies and Deceit show, and I'm going to give them, some groceries and some stuff. But, it is amazing. And the reason why I'm saying that, when your government was there, they made an allowance. It did not matter if it was $500. They made the allowance to ensure that everybody gets a little bit. Right now, nobody is getting anything. And mind you, Sarah, most of the people who come to me are not people my age. They are young people, 30 and under. What is your feeling about this? What
Well,
can you make
well,
about
well,
this?
well. First of all, so it seems that you have to start a charity very soon.
It seems so,
It seems
very
that
soon.
Yes, it seems that you have to start a registered charity very soon, because for it not to drain you, you need to do it structured giving.
Yes.
This is why structured giving. This is why we established the synergy program in Catholic Center. And I have to say, I mean, a lot of people didn't know exactly what we did because we spent so much time doing it, but we didn't spend enough time saying what we would do. But
Yes.
I'm documenting everything. I'm documenting it. And we had a synergy support program where we were able to assist people with all those things. And the reason I'm saying that you need to have a structure to that, you need to be able to raise funds, you need to be able to get donations, because it has to come from somewhere. So can't give everybody from the pocket. So it's
Exactly.
impossible.
It's
It's
impossible.
impossible. And also, you would want to give a hand up, not a hand out. Because today you give a bed, but you want to make sure that you can direct this lady or woman in need, or person in need, to some training, to some employment, so that tomorrow she can help someone else. You don't have to keep giving her. But the unemployment is so high. I mean, persons do not have health care. I mean, I was at the supermarket just recently, and the lady came up to me and said, she came with this sheet. where she was asking for a donation to help her colleague. I said, you know something. I mean, I gave her, but I said, you know something. Had you guys elected someone to this country, we promised 100 days we'd have national health insurance. We already went and did the first phase of national health. We promised in our 5 within 100 days of electing the party, everybody would have 75,000 or so minimum of national health insurance. And this is something we would have accomplished because we accomplished our five to stay for life. Five to stay alive. We promised and we delivered. But you know, I am heard you say that solutions have to cry or will be crying. I mean, I don't want my people to cry, but when we make mistakes, we inevitably feel the consequences of it. And it's going to be a hard road for St. Lucians, honestly. Because, I mean, I served with the Labour Party government because, you know, I started with the career in the Labour Party. And my problem with the party is that they didn't really care. I mean, you would recall that they established a vision commission. That was when I knew everything failed. Val fini, if you know what that means.
Yes, dance party done.
If you have to be in office, and establish a vision commission,
Then something is wrong. Yes, something is
I
wrong.
mean, so it
Exactly.
means you are visionless.
Exactly.
You are bereft of all ideas. You have nothing else to come out of your. I mean, you should be teeming, overflowing with ideas. Every day should be a new day, and you're excited. What are we gonna do next? This is the feel I get from Alan Shasta. Alan Shasta is bubbling with ideas.
Now, are you surprised,
You know,
Sarah, that right now they are void of ideas? They're void.
This is what I get from it. So they left government with no ideas because they had to establish a vision commission before they left because they had no more vision, no more ideas, and they've come back. They spent 5 years out there and didn't come up with anything, and they've come back in with no ideas because you don't care. Because there's such a need out there. Ideas will come to you in your sleep.
Exactly.
You'll be waking up and writing down ideas.
Thank you.
Right? So it's a lack of care. And it's not that you don't have the capacity or the ability. Because if you don't have the capacity and the ability and you have the idea, you'll find somebody. You will share the idea, you'll find someone to help you. So we have a long, hard road ahead of us. But you know, the thing about me is I love St. Lucia.
Me too. I
there's
love my
nowhere else in
country.
the world I want to be.
Me
There's
too.
nowhere else, I mean, so it's you know, I actually listened to one of your shows and you were saying, oh, all the ministers who have lost, they've disappeared, and you know, you want to see them come. But you know, so I mean, you asked me to share about myself, and I hope I'm not talking too much.
No. Go ahead.
I mean, when I left England, because after my stint at the US, I went to England with my family, and when I left there, and I spent 2 years there. When I left, my son was in secondary school, you know, and my daughter was in secondary school. I came home for a holiday, and then I was asked to run, and then I called my husband and said, I think I will, and so that's how I came back home. And I really needed family time. My family needed me. I needed to disappear and just be available for my family. And that's what I did. But, you know, I do have a bigger family in St. Lucia, and this is my home now, these are my people. And I will continue to talk about the excellent job I felt in the United States Constitution under the leadership of a visionary, humble leader who understands St. Lucians and cares about them. Unfortunately, I do think that Alan is misunderstood. There's a lot of people don't really know about it. I mean, I challenge Alan. Don't forget that. I challenge early o'clock. But I've come to work with this leader. I know and I understand, and he has vision. You know, he has his own ideas. And when you speak with him about a new idea, he gets it. He gets it. He's on top of his game. He has the energy, he has the vision, he has the respect. He is capable and able. And I am sure in due course solutions will realize.
Now let me ask you a question, Sarah. Why do you think that the United Workers' Party lost?
Well, there is the long answer and then there's the short answer, to be honest with you. Uh, and I know that the party did a review and did some consultation. So there are a myriad of factors why the party lost. So I'll be very brief. I mean, I think the government worked very hard, certainly. We worked very hard. We achieved a lot. Of course, we had to battle with COVID right in the middle of everything. And there was a great need that citizens had. I mean, people were suffering. Unemployment rose again. We had to take much of our resources. We were going to really build on the foundation that we started in our first 2 years. We really began to build on that. We had to take it and divert it. And people were feeling the pulse. And sometimes when you feel hurt, you just want to release. You want to release. I mean, you don't want to wait to see, well, okay, you have a bobo or you have a
Yeah.
sore, you have surgery, but you want a plaster now, you want an ointment now, you want a dressing now to soothe
Yes.
the pain while you wait for the surgery. I think we put the plaster, but we didn't keep the ointment. So I think we needed to, how should I say, respond more to the immediate need that people had.
Yes.
Kubayo or soulagement.
Yes.
We did that, but we needed to keep it and keep it and keep it going. While we said, okay, wait, we're in a bad situation with COVID, it's the whole world, it's not just us. But when you hurting, you don't hear that. And if somebody's going to offer you something and promise you something and say, okay, I'll do it as soon as I get in, or just vote for me and everything will be fine, I'll do it. Somebody can run for that because they're hurting at this point. But that's what happened. But of course, a lot of what was promised hasn't been delivered and it's unlikely to be delivered. So people will realize. But in the heat of the moment, the pride, a pain that you might bear if your child is hurting, you will want to relieve for your child. So you will go and grab the person again. And I think that's what happened. So, I mean, in my case, I was, of course, disappointed. I felt I worked so hard and tried so hard to be so available, but people wanted more and more because they were suffering more. I'm
And
just hoping that
yeah.
we make I mean, of course, I respect the people's decision, and it is for us to see. It is for us to see, with the benefit of hindsight, where we can really compare leadership, where we can really compare performance. We'll be able to do it, and to hopefully return the United States. Of course, we learn from our mistakes. We were not a
Yeah.
perfect government. We're not a perfect government, but we cared. We did. I mean, I served with those ministers. Alan Shasti and I didn't agree on everything. I mean,
As
we
anything
didn't agree
else.
on everything, as
As
anything
anything
else.
else.
But I think a leader is important, and I have to say that I think in Alan Shasti, Timothy has the best leader that we can have in this.
Well, and you see, the thing about it, Sarah, like you said, you were working a lot, especially with the Synergy program, but many people didn't know about it because some of the complaints that were made about you is that people said you were not working, but you were working, but you were not really promoting what was being done. Can
Right,
you enlighten
right.
us a little, what would you have done
Yeah.
differently?
Well, I have to be honest. I mean, after spending so many years in government, I mean, when I just started, I used to be on the talk shows all the time. I just started, I used to be, I mean, on the TV all the time, all the time, all the time.
Right.
And what I had hoped to do in the first 2 years really laid a foundation for a solid program. And I mean, we had about 23 programs. I wrote and designed every one myself. I
Wow.
came up with the logo myself. I sat and
Wow.
developed all the systems myself. I literally wrote everything to the website. I wrote everything. Every draft, every single thing for each program I did myself. So that took me long, long hours to do. We had launched the programs, and my plan now was really now to go out there. They were on the ground. Let's start showing. But I wanted to build a good foundation, have all the documentation in place, and everything, so that anybody could take up from them. So that took a lot of my time, literally writing the program, literally drawing up every job description, literally
let,
drawing
let,
up the
let, let me cut you
philosophy for everything.
let me cut you there. So that means, and this is what people don't understand, they were quick to say Sarah lazy, Sarah not working, but with your intellectual capabilities you did 20 something projects,
Absolutely.
plans, pen it yourself, job description, but yet they said Sarah was lazy. Our people need to do better. If within your constituency you are working, people need to stop listening to the noise. And this is why I brought you here. They wanted to paint you like a lazy lady, but there you were working on their behalf.
So we employed 35 people full time. 35 people were employed full time in our programs. 35, right? And as I said, every logo I hand drew it myself, and then I gave it to the graphic artist. And what I am going to do, as I said, is document this, and I had to find funding for everything myself too. Write up the project
Wow.
proposals, and you know how long that takes. So I spent a lot of time just burning the midnight oil because I wanted to lay a firm foundation. I mean, the farm down in Roseau. I mean, I went down there and helped to dig the dam that we created. I mean, we created
Whoa.
a dam. We did all of that.
Because
Yes.
I know women, and if you went to Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, I know mostly everybody who have passed through that institution, we are hands-on. So when I heard Sarah was lazy, sitting doing nothing, it only means that, people did not know what you were doing, right? And then
Yes.
people may say, we do not want Sarah to come back, we do not want Sarah to come back, but they didn't know of the works. And this is what our people need to do. If you are helping your constituents in that manner, they have to spread the word. But the noises got to them that Sarah was lazy, Sarah was not doing anything.
So if I may tell you, I mean, I was never more accessible in all my years in politics. I was never more accessible than I was in these past 5 years. My email, Sarah sent was answered only by me. Nobody filtered my emails, right? My telephone number was publicly available. People WhatsApp me. And this is in the middle of doing all that. So the whole plan was to lay these programs solidly and then really begin to push them, because we were creating a pilot that could be replicated.
Right.
I mean, we even had the UN agree to review the program for us. We got funding from UNECLAG. They were going to review the
Wow.
program with a view to seeing how it could be replicated. So the importance
Excuse
of
me.
documentation and making sure that the matrix, the organizational charts and structures, all of that was all of that was. But of course, when COVID came, everything slowed down, because even when we had the programs all set and ready to get them really going, we had to stop,
Yeah.
because all of the resources were now diverted, and we were now providing direct support to people, whether it be in support of housing, for health, in support of food, all of that we had to meet immediately. And then the elections came upon us. So we literally were laying the foundation to take off, then we were stopped, and then that. But I don't think all of this work is in vain, to be
No,
honest,
no.
because all of the ideas, in fact, quite a number of people involved in the program would like to continue. But certainly there needs to be a regrouping, a reorientation. Okay, how is it possible to do that? I mean, the farm, I don't know what's happening. I mean, so. We used to supply vegetables and fresh fruit to our constituents. There were times when I'd sit in my constituents' office, and if there were 30 people in that office, everybody got a parcel of fresh vegetables to go home with. I didn't broadcast that,
Wow.
and that came from our farm. That came, and we certified 6 farmers They were
Wow.
certified. These were people who were not working before in farming, who became farmers under our program and stayed with us.
Wow. Wow. Because
And this
they
is
were
just one of the programs I'm
fooled.
talking about.
Yeah, they were fooled
Yes.
with the noises.
Even the car wash,
The car wash,
Cynthia.
yes, yes.
This
Conway.
was not just meant as a car wash. This was a means to self-development. All of the young people there who we identified would have been trained in business practices, in self-development, in all of that. The car wash was a means to develop people, not just to wash cars. But this government will not understand that. To them, it's just about washing cars. To them, it's just about washing cars.
And this
But
is
the
why
car
I
wash
said
had
you
its
are not
own.
lazy, Sarah.
So the car wash had its own self-development program, because we were going to make the best car washers, but the best people. So that they say, oh, we opened a car wash, because to them it's just a car wash. It's not about that.
There was
It's
vision
about
behind the car wash. There was
the
vision.
car wash was a means to reaching the individual, providing him with employment, but helping him become the best father that he can be. So he no longer abuses his girlfriend. So that's
Exactly.
how you right. So this was how all of our programs work. Providing the need, but getting to the real meat of the matter, to helping to become better people. This is what it was about.
Because
And that's how we do family violence.
exactly,
That's how
because
you do
how
family
can you have
violence.
vision when how can you do anything for anybody and you don't have vision? You must have vision.
Right. So, of course, someone will say, "Oh, we opened the couch," because to you it's just a building. To you it's just a building. You're not about developing the people. You're not about that.
Exactly.
You just put them there and that's it. But that's not how we thought. There was a purpose behind our program.
And let me tell you what I found very strange. They campaigned against you saying that you were lazy and that you're not doing anything, right? But however, when they won their seat, the first thing they said to the people, y'all want favors, y'all coming to me, pay your
Well,
light.
I heard that.
You know, so
Yes,
it says when you don't understand the real needs of people, these are the things that you would say. Because, for instance, you had the farm, then you had the idea behind the car wash, and different things from the people of Castro Central. But little do you know, many of them are missing you. You never miss the water till the well runs dry.
So we had Synergy Gold. I mean, we trained, and I mean, all of these presentations I made in the House of Assembly. I made all of these things are documented. I mean, we sent people overseas to train, to specifically learn how to massage older persons who had strokes, and we went ahead and we offered these in Pakistan. All of this we did, and I stood in the House of Assembly and said all this. But I was brought up not to boast and to trumpet what you do, to let your work speak for itself. But we live in a world now where you must say what you're doing. Every 2 minutes you must be on there saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Sometimes I do feel that saying all this stops me doing. I want to have the time to sit and write the letter I need to write for this person who needs a letter written. If I'm on news, I can't do that. But if I'm home at my computer, I can write a letter on behalf of someone who needs help. I can follow up with something, But I guess we need to mix it, because we live in a world of social media. And people need to see you. They need to hear what you're doing. People rely on the internet, on the WhatsApp, on the Facebook to say this and that, what have you. So we live in a new age, and we have to recognize it.
Now, let me tell you, some of the people who worked with you, they messaged me and they said that Mrs. Beaubrun, Sarah, she was really looking out for us. We worked in the office, we did different stuff. She was really looking out for us. However, she lost the election. And they were lamenting to me that government or NSDF or whoever have to pay them, and up to a day like today, that they haven't gotten their monies. And
I would like to, right. That's an excellent point. I mean, the Synergy staff, for example, were not paid for the last month. This is a program that for 4 years was paid by government. Suddenly, a new government comes in and they don't pay the people. Why? I've written letters. I have requested the monies. I have indicated to them that these people were employed under this program. But you know what, so? I can only do so much.
So much,
I've
yes.
written and written and written. The people who are owed those monies have to stand up and demand them. They have to demand the money from the people who owe them their money. If somebody owes me money, I know what to do.
Exactly.
You know what? You know what? The people have elected a government that they are scared of.
Exactly, they are scared because they're rich and
yes, the people have
Yes.
elected people who they are afraid to approach.
Very true. Very true.
If it was Alan Shasney, there'd be
Oh,
big
they would be cursing.
Trust
They would be cursing and they would be fighting.
Trust me, if I
Yes.
was in office, they'd put my name on news every day for them.
Every day. And they
Right?
want me
But
to
they-
assist them, but they need to get up and fight.
But they've elected people in office, but they're scared to approach them for their money. Why? Why do we elect people we are afraid of? Why do we elect people we cannot approach? Why do we elect people who we are scared will victimize us? Why do we elect people who don't care enough about us
Exactly.
to pay us our fair wage that we have worked? Why? Why? I mean, I'm going to say tonight, I have written and written. I've written the only person I haven't written yet is the Accountant General himself. I've written the PSs to request monies. I've sent every documentation I need to send, I've sent. The monies are budgeted for, were budgeted for. We had sent our budget in, it was approved. The people worked a full month. You're not paying the people. The people need to ask for their money. Because if 10 of them go there every day, Philip JP will not like it.
Exactly.
If 20 or 30 of them go and make Philip JP see them every day, he will not like it.
Exactly.
They will soon get their money. They will soon get their money if they go and demand. And if they need me to give them the documentation, I'll be happy to do it.
And this is exactly what I said to them. You need to go to his office.
Punish them if they want me to go with them.
But they're afraid, Sarah. They're afraid.
But I cannot go alone because I'm not the one who's owed the money. I don't have locus standi.
Exactly.
I cannot demand what I'm not owed.
Exactly.
So
they want me to fight for them, but it's you. You are the one
listen to this now,
that is out the money.
Listen to this. But the government, as far as I'm concerned, is foolish. Because those people must have voted for them because I'm not in office.
That's right. That's right.
So you're victimizing the very people who voted for you.
That's right.
Because if everybody voted for me, I would be in office.
That's right.
So the very people who you are victimizing because they worked under my program and you're not paying them are those who put you in office and who you are depending on to put you back.
Exactly.
But all I need to say is I've done everything. I've submitted all the documentation, all the supporting information. Up to last week, the PS of Economic Development acknowledged what I said.
Okay.
And I said to him, the financial year is coming to an end. I said this to him.
Yes.
This was budgeted for. The money should be there and allocated. Please pay the people before the end of the financial year. I requested that. Up to last week again, I said, please pay them before the end of the financial year. The money has been budgeted. You cannot have people working and refuse to pay them when you are receiving your salary every month.
That is right.
It's wrong.
It is wrong.
But the people who are owed are the only ones who can demand their money.
Because imagine one of them is 5 months pregnant and she needs her money. How long can people suffer like this? But you have to get up and go and stand in front of Philip JP's office and demand they pay you.
And you see, and this is not Philip JP's money. This is not the government's money.
That's right.
This is the people's money. And this was budgeted.
Exactly. And people are desperate. They need their funds.
Yes. Right. So it's just a question of, again, as I said, and I have to put it down to that, people have elected leaders that they are afraid to approach.
But why is that, Sarah? Why is that? Because when it's Alan Chastney, everybody's fighting, everybody's marching, everybody's protesting. Everybody wants to fight.
Because they know he has a good heart. They know that if they fight, they know that if they ask, it will reach him. They know he has a good heart, right? But when you have leaders with a cold heart, when you have people who victimize people, when you have people who come in with a plan for vengeance, right? When you have people who come in intending to go after people, you have to be scared of people like that. You have to be scared of them because
Not Sarah, I like that about you because I know you're an intelligent woman. I know you're a powerful woman. And you know, it is so good having you here with me tonight. We need more of this for people to realize, hey, they looked at Sarah, this kind of, woman, that wouldn't fight for them. Of course, you're fighting for them. It is the idea and the image that was created about you. Because, hey, how you speak about your people. And I must tell you, when they spoke to me, they said good things about you. Mrs. Beaubrun always paid us. She gave us work. She looked after us. But then some of them were fooled by the noises.
yeah. The other thing is, I mean, I like to be reasonable. The government came into office, they need some time to settle. I mean, give and take.
Right,
There's been
right.
an election, the government needs some time to settle. They can't just say, okay, Mrs. Bowen, send this in, let me just pay. They have to say, okay, what is this, what? You know, right. So, fair enough, they needed some time. And I gave them time to settle.
And which is
But,
fine, which is fine.
right. But you're talking about people who worked right up to July. You're not talking about, there's no question about it. These are people you paid every month. There's no question about it.
But Sarah, another thing I found with Alan Chasney, and some of us did get upset with him. Alan Chasney came into office in 2016. Alan Chasney embraced SLP and UWP. He did not fire them. However, this new government, they are putting all their friends, their family, and cliques in
The same thing they
position.
accused. The same thing they accused Alan Chasney of. But
Exactly.
I mean, I completely agree with the approach. In fact, this is also my approach. I mean, I'm prepared to work with anybody. As long as you are a worker, as long as you're going to do the work, that's what I care about. I mean, I went to my Ministry of External Affairs. Everybody there who wanted to work, as long as you are prepared to work, that's what we're here for. I am just passing, you are just passing. Look how people die very easy these days. We move on, nobody's indispensable.
I'm telling
Such
you.
a small country, yes.
Yes, yes.
There is no time to, I mean, if you don't want to work, or if you are there to undermine the work of the government, then you shouldn't be. But if you are there willing to work, to implement the government's programs, as far as I am concerned, you have the right to implement. And I totally agree. We are too small in St. Lucia for
Too
us to
small
be.
to be doing this.
Sometimes we have one person who is best at something. I mean, look at, for many years we had only one pathologist in St. Lucia.
Which is
I
crazy.
mean, when I was the Minister of Health for many years, we had only one psychiatrist. St. Lucia is too small for us to say, oh, you're supporting this or that. No. Who is the best
Exactly.
person for the job? But it is important when the best person comes to the job, they don't play politics with it.
That
Because
is right.
sometimes you are prepared to work with people, but they come playing politics with you.
Exactly. Exactly. And it is amazing that people, and the sad thing about this, Sarah, we are sending the Malaways home. And when they go home, how are they going to feed their families? Oh, she's disconnected. Okay, she'll have to reconnect. Okay, people, just hold on. We just have to get Sarah connected again. Apparently, she's disconnected. She didn't realize that. Okay, just 1 minute. We're gonna put Sarah back on. I think she's disconnected. Okay, just mute my mic. Let me call Janine. You putting her back in? You're going to take a little while the two of us come on.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm back, I think.
Yes, you are disconnected. I don't know what happened to you
I'm really
there.
sorry. So we'll talk about that later, but I'm back.
Okay, yeah, you got disconnected. So,
Apologies.
yeah, so I don't know what happened. So we good? Okay, all right.
Yes,
So let us
yes.
continue. You can finish the music.
Right.
Let's continue. And people, y'all got to go. Yes, y'all gotta go and buy the coffees because my son Akeem Ernest, master producer, y'all can't touch him. My boy, my son,
Oh my
Brain
goodness.
Box. Y'all
It's a
can't touch
proud
him.
mother.
Yes, and y'all need to go and buy him the coffee. This child makes his mommy shine, and I love this child dearly. So let's go on, Sarah.
Where were we? I can't even remember. But in any event.
We were talking
yeah,
about
so-
people coming, like,
Yeah.
as long as the person is willing to work, you'll work with them.
Right, of course. I mean, and that has been, and to be honest with you, I can say that in my experiences I worked in 3 different ministries. I've had excellent staff. Excellent staff. I mean, I never know where they go, to be honest. Because I've not been interested. The important thing is we respect each other, we're here to do a job, we come and we do it. At the end of the day, we're here to serve people, we're here to build our country. And as far as I'm concerned, if you work well, you make me look good as a minister.
Exactly. You make them look good.
I need you, and you're right. I need you. I need you to work, and I need you to work well to get the government's programs implemented. But sometimes, not everybody comes with that approach. You're willing to work with them, but then they're playing games. You see, and that's when sometimes you have to pull them so they can get.
But let me prick your brain. Let me ask you, what do you think of the EU stance in terms of our CIP? They're asking us like not to sell our passports to the Russian, but apparently the stance by this government is that it's a wait and see, and we're going to do it. And I know you have been in foreign affairs, so just give us a little heads up as to how you see this issue.
Well, first of all, we have to be clear what our policies on Russia is.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we have to be clear. And this is not about condemning Russia and everything it does. It's about condemning the stance that Russia has taken in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. So we have diplomatic relations with Russia. I mean, personally, there have been some things that Putin has done that I've been in agreement with prior to the war. There are some positions Russia has not been happy with. But the fact is, we have to take a firm stand on Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Exactly.
Right, absolutely. So, and I think it is important that our government sends a clear message on this. And that's one of the things that during my time at Foreign Affairs and with Alan Catholic as a leader, we were very clear. We made our foreign policy decisions on principle. People knew what to expect. This is why we were able to take the position we took on Venezuela. We respect democracy, and whoever infringes on democratic rights and democratic principles, we will take a stand against that. Because we value democracy, we value people, and respect the human dignity. And when we waffle and waver on things like that, it shows who we are. Because if my friend is doing something wrong, I'll be the first to point out and say no. I mean, there were some things the U.S. couldn't expect of us. Right. There were some positions that we were opposed to the U.S. and they knew it. But they knew what they could depend on. And there are some sacred and fundamental principles: respect for life, respect for the values of democracy, and respect for human rights, and respect for sovereignty. This is what is at stake here. The sovereignty of a nation.
Very true.
And everything else follows from that. If you can't respect sovereignty, you can't respect democracy, you can't respect human rights. If you can massacre civilians to achieve your own ends, irrespective of, then a firm stance needs to be taken. And what else can St. Lucia do than impose whatever sanctions, quote unquote, we can do. I mean, we can't send jets, we can't send artillery, we can't send money. What we can do is to say, in our corner of the world, we are taking a stand against you, and this is what we can do, and we will. And we have to be clear on these things.
And we have to be clear because I believe that our foreign policy is not clear. It's like this government, as you rightfully said, they don't have vision. It's like everything is helter-skelter. So where does that leave the people of St. Lucia?
So if you don't know what you believe in, you'll believe in anything.
That's right.
And that is where everything starts. Foreign policy starts with national policy. Foreign policy doesn't start in a vacuum. It starts, who am I as a person? Who are we as St. Lucians? What is our identity? What are the things we value? This is our national identity. From that, we know what we can recognize our friends who share our common values. This is where it starts. It's not a big, highfalutin something. But if you don't know what you believe in, if you're there to see, you make friends with this person for what you can get from them,
yeah.
You'll make friends with anybody. You sleep with the
devil. Oh my God.
Maybe literally.
You know, but this is
so that's what we're talking about.
This is crazy. And also, the United States of America, when they sneeze, we catch the cold. Now, I need to find out from you, Sarah. Again, you have been in foreign affairs. In terms of what this government is doing, we as St. Lucian citizens obtaining a U.S. visa, can this be tricky? Can they make it more difficult for us? Because we know that this government has a lot of issues dealing with.
Well, you know, the way the world is going, people are watching what countries do very closely. I mean, when you abstain at the United Nations on a matter of fundamental principle, people watch, people see this, people know, people take notes. And at the end of the day, it's about forming allies, forming relationships, forming friendships.
Exactly.
Diplomacy is about forming friendships. That's what it's about. I mean, you have a friend, you care about what affects that person. You're going to do things that are not going to hurt that person. This is the same thing in the person. This is what it's about. We have known that this government has always aligned itself to certain countries. The US knows it. So I'm not surprised that certain positions this government takes. The same way they opposed, they didn't understand our actions with Venezuela. They would not understand our actions with Nicaragua. They will similarly have a certain slant regarding Russia on this matter. And I'm saying again, there were some positions which Russia has taken at the United Nations we were aligned with. So it's not a carte blanche issue. We'll say on this matter of the
exactly.
On this matter of the because China is watching closely.
Very closely.
China because China wants to make a move as well.
They want to, yes.
And if God forbid that Russia succeeds with Ukraine, it will not stop them.
No, it
will not stop them. So why do we feel that we cannot take a strong position in Russia? Why? Is there something we're looking for from Russia and we want to give up? What is more important than protecting sovereignty? What is more important?
Exactly.
What is more important? What is more important than saying on the principle of sovereignty, that is where I draw the line.
The line.
But the other Caribbean
islands did it. Exactly. All the other Caribbeans did it. But St. Lucia is not.
But you know, I have to say that, and I guess that is for another program. On a general point on the CIP, I mean, I think I said so during the time when the CIP was launched. I think it was under the SNP. In principle, I don't agree with that. I mean, I am kind of like taking a similar view with Ralph Gonzalez.
Okay.
I never liked the idea. I mean, I think it's important if people want to apply for citizenship that there can be routes to apply for citizenship, and we have these in our law. Where persons come, you can apply for residence after a certain time, you can qualify to apply for citizenship. But on the whole question of CIP, I never really liked it. Yeah, personally, it's not
Yeah.
something that I like. The idea
Yes.
of selling your citizenship.
You and I both, because I have never
Yes,
been a fan of CIP. I have never been a fan. But let me
right.
prick your brain. Budget is around the corner. What are your thoughts, my lady?
Well, well, you can't have a good budget if you don't have a good vision.
Vision. I knew you would say that.
Because, I mean, you are there to fund programs that you should have already thought about.
Exactly.
You know, you're not just there to take money and go and splash. You know, one of the things that used to pain me very much when you used to say, well, what have you done with the police? Oh, we've spent so much money. What have you done with agriculture? Oh, we've spent so much. It's not about spending the money.
Thank you. Thank
Because
you.
because because you can just throw money hoping it will catch. Right? It's not about how much you spend. It's what you've done with the money and what
Exactly.
returns it has brought, right? And how have you improved the quality of life of
Of
people?
people.
If you don't have a plan for crime, you can't just come in there and spend money. You
Not at
can't just say
all.
you give the police vehicles. The vehicles are important. I'm having the police got vehicles. But how do you plan to address it?
And you were
And
right.
it has,
It boils down to support. Where is the support system? What have you done? It's just not given vehicles.
but if I may just say on this crime thing, because I've been thinking a lot about it. Of course,
Yeah.
it's a complex problem. It's one that all governments have been grappling with. And of course, the approach is multifaceted, and the government must lead on it. The government must lead because that's what they're there for. The police have to do their part. The social workers, the church leaders have to step up and do what they have to do. But each one of us has to take personal responsibility and say, I am going to be a better person. So whilst the government puts its act together, whilst the police put their act together, whilst the church leaders put their act together, I must say, from tomorrow, Sarah, I will be a better person.
That is right.
We must all, because at the end of the day, it's about choice.
Right.
Crimes happen first with a bad thought.
Very
The
true.
bad action doesn't just come.
Very
And
true.
the crimes in our country are not just the murders. There are many crimes. There are many petty crimes. There is dishonesty. There's a lack of respect. There's discourtesy that starts with a curse word. That's a crime too. The curse word is a crime. Threatening somebody is a crime.
Oh, yes.
You know? So all of these things happen before the murder happens.
Oh, yes.
And right. So it is really important that we all, on a personal level, whilst the government sorts its business out, hopefully in the budget they will come with a plan. We now have to say, because the
I'm not-
situation of crime in St. Lucia, we cannot afford to let it get any worse.
No, we cannot.
Can't.
We cannot. And the crime, like you said, Sarah, is not only on the streets.
Yes.
I need you to explain to my audience. Help us understand, why would a government, an attorney general, revisit a case from 2013 for $38,000, and today
You
they
know-
have spent close to $500,000?
You-
What is
you-
this?
You are talking about the matter regarding
The
Al-Shaz.
super, right.
Right. I mean, I couldn't believe this. Honestly. You have a government who saw to it that a case against a certain minister was dismissed, who saw to it, right?
Oh my
Who went
God.
out their way to see to it. You have a government, as soon as it came into office, right? It expunged certain records of certain people
COVID
for crimes that
breaches.
were
Yes.
right for breaches. You have a government who has come and done that, and who is going to revisit a case where it's determined that they don't have locus standi. So you're talking about
I just don't.
people who are
This is
spending
madness.
time, energy, resources on a witch hunt
On a witch
rather
hunt.
than spend time, rather than spend time trying to come up with real solutions to the problems that people face, going out there on a witch hunt. No, honestly, I couldn't believe it.
I
I couldn't
couldn't
believe it.
believe it. I
But
was.
you know,
Go,
I have to say, and when I saw that, I prayed for Alan Chastain. I did, because this man has given a lot to him. This
yeah,
man
yeah.
really, really, and if anybody was in any doubt as to how much he cares, how much he really wants to stay and make a difference, I mean, I think the evidence is being honest. I really believe at the end of the day, when all is said and done, people will see who Alan Chastain is. His sufferings are not in vain. The people will have a chance to see for the veil will be moved. People will have a chance to see for themselves, where nobody will have to tell them who Alan Chastain is. The real man is going to be exposed. They will
Yep.
see who he really is, and his sufferings will allow them to see. So nobody will be able to tell them who he is.
But he has really one thing I admire about him. I admire a man who can go through so much and still be humble and graceful. With all the attacks against Alan Chasney, I have not seen him act in any vagabond way towards those people.
And I will tell you, because I've seen him behind closed doors. In the 5 years, and remember, I challenged Alan Chasney. So I didn't start off an Alan Chasney person.
Right.
I started with my question marks. So I'm talking about what I've seen and what I've assessed for myself. In the 5 years that I served with Alan Chasney, I saw him under all kinds of pressure. I saw him under COVID pressure, under all kinds of pressure. The man remained humble, respectful. He had time for his ministers always. I didn't see him lose his temper. Even if he disagreed with you, he listened to you. I saw a true leader operating under extreme pressure. And that's when you know who somebody is, when things are not going their way. You know people when they're under pressure. You can see who they really are. Right? And one of the things you wanted to discuss was to ask, how was it serving? It was certainly a pleasure. I'm saying it. I mean, I served under Kenny Anthony. I was the deputy permanent representative at the UN under Stephen King. I was the Speaker of the House of Assembly under Sir John for 6 months, so that wasn't much time, and as you know, he fell ill. So I can't really compare Sir John in terms of serving under him. Of course, he was a great man and a great leader, but I can't really say that I served under Sir John. But I'm talking about comparing vision, comparing humility, comparing capability and ability, and Alan Chasney is head and shoulders above the other two.
Because
And
Sarah,
I pray that God gives him another opportunity so that he can continue the great work. Of course, with his
with the blessings of his family. But people have been saying they were given the impression that when any of you disagreed with Alan Chasney, he used to curse y'all. He used to make y'all feel like dogs.
Not. Absolutely not. I mean, I disagreed with him many times. Well, you know me.
Bad girl.
No, well, not really. I just, if I have something to say, I say it. No.
Yes.
I find him a very, very patient person. I saw it with others. I'm not talking about the way he related with me. I saw it with others. Extremely patient. Extremely patient. And he allowed his ministers to work at their ministries. He didn't barge in and say, do this, do that, do it my way or the highway. Never. You came with an idea, and something, he got it very quickly. He gets the point. He's not a dodo at all.
And let me ask you something,
Smart.
Sarah.
Very smart. He gets the point.
Stephenson King said in the House that Alan Chasney, let's say I am an SLP supporter and my son's application came before Alan Chasney for him to get a scholarship, that Alan Chasney would say no. As long as you're not yellow, you're not getting scholarship. Is that true?
To be honest with you, so I don't even want to respond to anything Steve says because, I mean, if you're looking for the games that Steve played, this is not a game of an honest man. I'm sorry to say it. So if Steve is going to say this and that, you're not an honest person. You played games. You're not honest. I don't trust what you say. What you say has no credibility. You played games. Right? You played cat and mouse with Alan Chasney. You played cat and mouse with the entire cabinet. So I can't believe what you now say about the man. No. And so when people speak, we must look at their actions. Is this a credible person? Can I believe what this man says? Can I believe what he says? Can I believe what he says is truthful? No, I can't. And that's what I have to say to what Stephenson King said. Yeah. You're not a truthful man. You're not honest. You played games.
Exactly. So and I agree with that.
I don't give any credibility to what you say.
I agree with that. And I believe St. Lucians right now realize that.
Listen, anybody, I mean, you've seen Alan Chasney in government and you've seen him in opposition. And tell me if this isn't a statesman.
He is, you know. He is. I may have gotten flustered and he's not. Yeah, he is. Well, Alan Chasney. We love him.
This is the true person. And I said, Alan, why are you doing all this?
Yeah.
Alan, why are you doing all this? I mean, you can have a better life. But you know what? He really cares. He does.
Because I feel like that too. Why is he doing all this? You know, he could have a better life. Yeah. But like you said, he cares. Yeah. He cares.
Do you know, so when I was in the booth when we were counting the elections, right? And I realized that I had lost. But at that time, I didn't know what the result was. I was just in Castle Central counting at the polling station, counting the vote. And I didn't realize. I was not hearing. I was in my station. And I realized, I was trying to get him to see because I wasn't getting him. And then I got the news that it was that bad, and we had lost the election. I felt worse for the loss of the government than I really felt myself. I felt that the government had worked so hard. And all the things that was said about Alan which were just not true. Honestly, the race issue, it was so ludicrous. It was so outrageous in this day and age. I never believed solutions would fall for it. Honestly, I didn't. I thought it was a few people because it's such an ignorant thing to do.
Of course, definitely.
Right. It is so outrageous. It is so unacceptable that I thought that we had more right-thinking solutions who could just. So I didn't see it. All people are talking race, but that wouldn't be a deciding factor. Can you believe it in this day and age?
It was such a shame.
I didn't believe it because
I couldn't believe it either.
Because I thought that we had gone past that long already. I thought so.
And when you look at what our government has presented to the people of St. Lucia, they are now 8 months into government. It's basically nothing. They have presented nothing to the people of St. Lucia. And I am telling you, Sarah, many people are messaging me privately, are meeting me, and they are saying, we really did wrong, We should have kept Alan Chasney in there.
So, the thing too is also so. I mean, I've worked with Philip J. Of course, we started, I was, as you know, in the Labour Party, so I know Philip J. the Prime Minister. Another thing is that you must inspire confidence.
Yes, you must.
You must inspire confidence. If you must wake up in the morning and you don't fight for what you do as a person, but my country, my leader knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
My leader is in charge.
Exactly.
Right. You must inspire confidence. The Prime Minister, Philip Javier, has never been able to inspire confidence.
He has
He doesn't
never
believe in
been.
himself.
He doesn't.
He
He
does not
doesn't.
believe in himself. He cannot speak with authority.
Authority and confidence. No.
Right. Now, a lot of people think that politicians don't really work. People think that. We don't really work. People really believe politics is just about going on TV.
Really?
They don't. They do. This is why many people didn't understand the long hours I put in what I was doing. Right? Because people really think it's just a photo op.
Right.
The moment you go and you have something on TV, it means you're doing something. But there must be substance. Because if
With
there's no
what you're
substance,
doing.
it
Exactly.
evaporates.
Exactly.
Right? So, going back to leadership, you must inspire confidence. You must believe in yourself.
That is
You
right.
must believe in what you're doing. A leader must be such that he has an idea. If he believes in it, he should be able to convince others, just let's go with me and you'll see what I'm doing. That's what Sir John Compton did.
Exactly. That's what he
When
did.
Sir John Compton was dredging all where I'm sitting now in Rodney Bay, people were saying he's a madman. This is a swamp. You're a madman. He believed in what he was doing. Look at where we are today. This is what a visionary leader does. He leads. Even when people aren't sure of what he's saying, they are prepared to go with him because they believe in him.
Exactly.
So they believe in your plan, they believe in your idea, and even when they're not sure, because they have confidence in you, they will go and, oh yes, we see what he is. Our leader does not inspire. He doesn't inspire. He's not sure. He's not sure of himself. I'm sorry to say all that. I mean,
this is so sad.
I don't want to, and please, I don't want to be accused of putting down. I am talking about.
No, we understand exactly what you're saying. Vision, confidence.
Right. You know, and one of the reasons, going back again to Alan Shastri, I mean, I served under Kenny Anthony, and we all know what happened. And again, when I came and served under Susan King, there was another issue, and I was quote unquote fired again in the system. And my issue was, I can't just follow anything.
Exactly.
I can't. Because I need my leader to lead. I need to be able to follow you. I need to be able to look up to you and be inspired by you. Be encouraged, have hope in what you're doing. And even when I'm not sure, I know I'm sure because of who is the captain.
Right.
And this is what Alan Shastri gives us. This is what he does. He's in control of the ship.
What are your thoughts, Sarah, on the St. Jude's issue? Because it's just sitting there and they're not going to do anything. What are your thoughts on this?
This is the saddest state of affairs. I mean, I have not visited St. Jude recently, meaning the current hospital. And it's so sad. It is very, very sad. I mean, I've heard stories of my family members who've gone there and who've relayed to me what it is. And it's unfortunate that this government just plays politics. Will not continue a project because it was started under a previous administration. I mean, I was prepared to sit down with the government, talk about a study program, to say, okay, this is the farm, this is what we're doing, hand it over properly. I was prepared to hand everything over properly, to share, to give all of the documentation I have, because it's not for myself, right? Nobody has asked me anything. Nobody has said, well, okay, this program, we've spent so much money on it. I mean, whether or not you would tweak this and tweak that and say, well, all right, well, we want this, we don't want that. Come and sit and say, well, all right, what is it we are doing? All this money was spent. All of these resources have been expended. We have buildings, we have facilities. Share with us the idea, and let's see how we can, albeit new administrations come in, new policies, you might change some things, but let's see what we can build. I mean, I came here and the roundabout was going so well, being built so well by Fresh Start. It's just a bank, nothing is happening. When this road network is so important, what is going on?
Exactly.
I mean, a housing development that was started is so needed that monies have been expended just because. Allow the work to continue, and you can do the evaluation while it's going on. Okay,
Exactly.
let's tweak this, let's tweak that, because the people's money has been spent. And this is being done to improve the quality of life of St. Lucians overall. And this was voted in by Parliament. The people have agreed to spend these resources.
Exactly.
So it is really sad that we're playing with healthcare in this way. Very, very sad that we're playing with people's health in this way.
It is very, very sad. Now, Sarah, we have run past our time, but it was such an interesting discussion. So give us your final words.
Well, my final words are to you, so to thank you for, again, doing what only you can do so well.
Thank you.
We need all hands on deck. We need people to use the skills that they have. And when I was watching the way you shout out your guests and you doing your thing and making it nice and lively, we need that. We don't need all boring talkers. We need a so-so,
Yes, only one so-so.
So, I mean, I like your style. I like the way, you are dealing with serious issues, but you present it in a way that brings hope to people.
Yes.
That puts a smile on their face.
Yes.
So, and that's important. So I just want to say thank you again, and to again thank your audience. So, I mean, I don't know how to buy the coffee. Please tell me how I can do that.
Okay, I'll send you the link, and you just click on the link, and you will do your business from there.
Okay, great. Right. So that's what I want to do. Make my own contribution, because
thank you, appreciate it.
We need everybody to do what they're doing in their time, and I can't do it the so way.
Exactly.
I can do so does what she can do, and somebody else does what they can do.
In the best they can. Yes.
Right. At the end of the day, St. Lucia is, and this is what I want to say. St. Lucia is too small for us to be. I mean, we know we have our political parties. We love our parties. We are political people. Fine, that's great. It's wonderful. I mean, I have friends everywhere.
Right.
Labor, the Democratic Party. I mean, I have my people. I have my friends. People have been very good to me, and still are very good to me, regardless of the size they are.
Right.
But when something is going wrong in our country, when it's not right, let us not just take sides because of who we support. Because at the end of the day, we're building a future of our children. And even if things don't improve in our time, we want to leave things better for those that are coming. So we live in critical times. We are in the face of, hopefully, not the Third World War. We're all trying not to make it that. So we need to brace ourselves. I mean, there's inflation. The cost of living is going up. Unemployment is rising. We are going to have to make some very critical decisions in future.
Yes, we have
in our personal lives, and also as far as the governance of our country goes. So let us be level-headed, let us be objective, and let's not just make decisions based on emotion, on who we like, who we don't like. Let's be objective, so we make proper decisions.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Sarah Flood-Beaubrun. I could have spoken to you for the whole night. You're such a wonderful guest, and I'm going to have you come back again. I would like to thank all my people for watching me tonight, and thanks for all the coffees, and also, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I may do a show, because there is so many things going on in this country that we need to talk about. And our country is not doing very good. And it's not about SLP or UWP. It's about the survival of our country and all of us mixing it together. So there's a lot to talk about, because some of your friends may be calling you for $5-10 because they are out of a job because this government said we do not want you, we do not want this one. But people, let us bind together as one. It was so nice having my guest tonight and having you here with me. Love y'all. See y'all maybe tomorrow, if not Saturday. Bye.